So I was first in Hong Kong 2015. I arrived in June, and from when I lived here, June through to August, so only 2 months, I caught up with a few people that I've been connected with, mainly working in international finance, in a lot of international finance roles here in Hong Kong. And a couple of them, perhaps all of them, mentioned to me, if you want to establish and start a career here in Hong Kong, maybe go and spend some time on the mainland. Invest in a little bit of the language, put effort into seeing not just Hong Kong itself and understanding what happens here, but the wider market, right? The country, the region. And so over the past decade, I have done that. What I've found is that instead of doing 1 or 2 years on the mainland and then coming back here to Hong Kong to establish myself, start a career in finance. I mean, international finance is sort of an assumed thing right here working in Hong Kong. You're not going to be just working in finance. It's very much a gateway to Asia and a connector and a bridge to the rest of the world. But I never came back. I visited once or twice over the past decade since I first lived here for those 6 weeks in 2015, but I've never lived here beyond that. Reflecting on that, I'm very comfortable with my decision. I found that living in China, mainland China, has been interesting and is much more aligned with my interests, I think, going forward. I think I could have been very successful here had I decided I wanted to come here and stay back, and perhaps had I never visited the mainland, I wouldn't have had such an urge to stay there as long as I did. But I found that I really enjoyed living up that way. I think obviously the language was very important, probably one of, if not the most important things, or one of the most enjoyable aspects of my time up there. I also really enjoyed obviously the food, culture, people, and the geography, right? It's a big country, and so seeing parts of it, you can't see it all in one go, right? You can't drive around the place in 2 or 3 or 4 hours or a couple of days. You've got to. I've travelled to many parts of China, but I certainly haven't seen all of it, and so I hope to do that over the coming decade, my next decade in China. China and the region, my next decade in China and the region.